Welcome views, welcome back to The Truth, where we bring to you the latest trust and reliable information. Trump's efforts to hide cash from New York AG shot down in court. Before I continue, if you are new to my channel line, I encourage you to hit the subscription button and turn on the notification bell so you will always be the first to get the latest information. Donald Trump's determined tries to break out the wrath of the New York Attorney General have been halted Thursday, whilst a country decide there took the top-notch step of setting the previous president's organization below courtroom docket supervision and stopping the billionaire from quietly moving his cash to keep away from paying hundreds of thousands in fines. Justice Arthur F. Engoron intervened at the AG's request, ordering the appointment of an unbiased screen to make sure that the organization can't secretly circulate belongings out of the regulation enforcement agencies attain nor preserve issuing fraudulent economic statements. The Trump Organization, the actual property organization that propelled Trump into worldwide fame and its own circle of relatives management, are accused of carrying out a blatant and long-jogging financial institution and tax fraud scheme. Documents filed in courtroom docket meticulously describe how Trump and the person-owned circle of relatives participants he made executives there, Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, consistently inflated the dimensions and cost of assets to snag higher financial institution loans and declare larger tax breaks. They now face a $250 million lawsuit from New York AG Letitia James, which seeks to cripple the agency. She hopes to position the Trumps on trial in 2023. Simply as Trump is anticipated to pursue his political aims in a go back to the White House. Trump has already taken movements that imply he is probably doing precisely what the AG fears. Gambling company video games to keep away from accountability. In current weeks, he opened a brand new agency with inside the shell organization capital of Delaware, comically called Trump Organization 2. And on Wednesday, he filed a country lawsuit in Florida's Palm Beach County towards the AG's workplace, looking to preserve it from ever having access to any finances he shelters in a prison entity called a trust. The lawsuit seeks a judicial order putting forward that James has no jurisdiction over the belongings of a Florida revocable trust. In courtroom docket on Thursday, assistant legal professional Widespread Kevin Wallace pressured the significance of getting Justice Engoron clamped down at the organization, citing ongoing fraudulent sports on the Trump Organization. He argued that the AG's workplace wishes to have widespread visibility into the organization in order that it doesn't end up an empty shell by the point an ordeal ends and it doubtlessly has to pay hundreds of thousands in fines. It's now no longer suitable for us to take this rally to trial, and now we are seeking out the primary time at what a restructured organization would possibly appearance like, he stated. Meanwhile, Christopher M. Kise, a Florida legal professional representing the Trump Organization, chalked up the whole lawsuit as a synthetic invoice of grievances for the reason that the AG became pursuing a declare the organization that became in no way made with the aid of using its meant victims its predominant lender and accounting firm, Deutsche Bank and Mazars USA, respectively. There is zero public hobby here, Kise stated. The legal professional Widespread is representing Deutsche Bank, Mazars. Those company titans have a number of the great lawyers with inside the country. They have in no way complained. Kise attempted to solid any valuation troubles as mere disagreements, the type of dispute that occurs regular in business. But Engoron wasn't having any of it, zeroing in on simply one in all Trump's bald-faced lies. In his first spherical of questions, Engoron started out with the aid of asking if Kise knew the dimensions of the Trump Tower triplex in Manhattan. Kise stated no. The decide then became to the AG's workplace lawyers, who defined how constructing plans display its 11,000 rectangular feet and, but Trump filed files claiming it became truly 3 instances that size, kind of 30,000 rectangular feet. Could that be an excellent religion disagreement? Engoron asked. It honestly can be, Kise shot returned incredulously. Engoron then highlighted how the Trump Organization benefited handsomely from that lie, having the AG's workplace give an explanation for how the 20,000 rectangular foot addition of non-existent area blew up the actual property's indexed cost, in step with the organization's very own then leader economic officer, Allen Weisselberg. It brought about a version of what Mr. Weisselberg defined as supplier take, $200 million, Wallace stated. Engoron stated that discrepancy with the aid of using itself is sufficient to justify the appointment of a screen. At this point, this lawsuit is one and all a half of dozen prison movements, threatening the politically effective Trump-owned circle of relatives. Trump himself can be hit with federal crook prices for preserving categorized information at his Florida oceanside property of Mar-a-Lago, as properly as country crook prices for looking to intimidate a Georgia elections official into reversing his electoral loss there in 2020. Meanwhile, the organization is currently protecting itself at a crook trial in Manhattan that accuses it of dodging taxes with the aid of using showering executives with company luxurious benefits off the books. However, the AG's lawsuit moves on the coronary heart of Trump's image and his wallet. James is trying to kill the organization with the aid of using bleeding it dry. She's searching to hit it with $14 billion greenbacks in fines and restrict the organization from running in New York or elevating cash in what has ended up the economic capital of the world. In courtroom docket papers, the Trump Organization decried the lawsuit as a blatant marketing campaign to generate tremendous press insurance at the eve of an election, calling the tries to exert manage over Trump's actual property empire as a politically influenced try and nationalize a tremendously a success personal enterprise. Since the lawsuit became filed, the Trumps were scrambling to restrict the ability harm with the aid of looking to get Justice Engoron kicked off the case. They've argued the case need to be in New York Country Courtroom Docket's business department in preference to with Engoron, who normally presides over civil matters. However, Engoron has refused to budge, announcing he's great organized to decide those troubles for the reason that he's already in detail acquainted with the AG's research of the Trump Organization that brought about the lawsuit. The Trumps spent 3 years looking to stay clear of deposition interviews with investigators and refusing to show over files, and it became Engoron who again and again needed to trouble courtroom docket orders, forcing them to conform with the AG's subpoenas. Just yesterday, Engoron issued but another order rejecting their needs that he step aside, writing that judicial financial system strongly militates preserving this situation with this courtroom docket that allows you to retain to preside over it without worry or favor. Please keep in mind to join my YouTube channel.